Moin Leute, Harry wieder am Start. So today we're gonna do a bit of a different video. Today we're gonna look at the tournament and we actually got the winner of the tournament here. Wanna say hi?
Hello, chat.
Hello chat. Anyways, so with Trevor, he's also gonna make a video breaking down his team. I'm gonna link that to you as soon as he uploads it. So as you guys can see, the Pokemon usage is a bit weird. Now, we in this community right here, we got our own little rules, which you can see right here. We only use quote unquote bad Pokemon, right? So no legendaries, no mythicals, no pseudo legendaries, and also no fully evolved Pokemon, because obviously we wouldn't want to have Pokemon that are just pre-evolutions of popular Pokemon, right? So it's a bit like Regulation H or like Regulation A++, except here we have like really different teams. Like for example, I'm just gonna click on this random team, Sandstorm team. This team actually isn't that bad. So yeah. Now let's go into the tournament that we had. If you guys wanna join these tournaments, make sure to join the Discord. I'll link it in the description. So Trevor, what were you thinking like going into the tournament?
I was thinking I was gonna get absolutely freaking cooked because I won like almost no practice sets before this.
Oh yeah. I think this is a very interesting thing to talk about before the tournament, because like you gotta understand, like I hope this isn't arrogant or anything, but if you guys watch my videos, you probably know I won like every one of these tournaments I joined. But this time I decided not to play because I just wanted to spectate. And I played so many practice games against other players. But what I thought was interesting, I was always using like relatively similar teams. Like I always used like bulky offense kind of teams. And obviously, if other players play against me a lot, they try to beat me. And Trevor just didn't take part in any of this, and obviously, like it worked out because spoiler, he won the tournament, right? That's why we're analyzing it with him. But I just thought it was really interesting that
Yeah,
so many people used like we had like a rain team and a snow team. I don't think we got the replays of a snow team because they got lost to time. But this was really interesting, and Trevor just built like a, how would you call this, like a bulky offense tailwind team, or what would you
I would
call this?
call it more like hyper offensive.
Hyper offense. Like we can see with Talonflame, with Typhlosion, Sarina, Gallade as well. Dude, Gallade went crazy in this tournament.
Yeah, I
So,
like looking funny Terrastellar Secret Sword.
oh yeah, we'll get to see that later. So, do you want to talk about the team building process just a tiny bit before we start?
I remember like I wanted to make a team centered around Mandibuzz because I
Mm,
like building around funny crap, and then I realized Mandibuzz didn't work because I do not like using slow Tailwind, so I
mm.
just replaced it with Talonflame.
So
And
what's
then I
your
just
team?
also put on free Pokemon that I wanted banned because we usually do
Mm,
bans after tournaments.
yeah.
And if I won with them, I thought could get them all banned, but I only got one of them banned.
Yeah, dude, I can't believe people didn't vote ban on a load of Ninetales. Like, that's so crazy to me. Like, why do you want. Like, we have Clefable and a load of Ninetales, which definitely stand out here because both Clefable and a load of Ninetales were historically really good. To be fair,
I'm
Klefki
just
and
surprised
Talonflame.
Typhlosion stayed.
Yeah. Oh, Rotom also. I mean, Rotom pretty much fell off, but yeah. Like, I feel like the thing with Hisuian and Typhlosion is it's really like a matchup fish. Like, I don't think you brought it to a single
Yeah.
game in the tournament, did you?
No, I definitely brought it to some games.
Oh, okay. Well, anyways, enough talking. Let's get right into the games, right? So, game one is against Highwood with a Sand team. Let's check out the team sheets for both players before we get into this, actually. So, for Trevor's team, he got a Vital and Serena, Power Triple Excel Taunt, Choice Scarf, Versure and Typhlosion, Light Clay Alone and Ninetales. However, you had Blizzard and Moonblast, Terra Stella, Life Orb, Sharpness, Scalate, and then a Citrus Berry Rotom, which is very unusual for a hyper offense team. Talonflame, which also got Will-O-Wisp. So you got the double Will-O-Wisp, and you got the offensive Ninetales. Those are things that very much stand out to me. Can you
A
go over
spoiler alert,
why?
Rotom didn't click Will-O-Wisp a single time.
Oh,
Actually, I think it might click it here.
well, I guess that answers
Didn't
my
use it that
question.
much. It was mostly just Talonflame doing the burning.
Mm, mm. Yeah, that makes sense. So, and let's look at Hybrid's team just real quick. So he got the Sand team with Sandstorm, Klefki, and then AV Cleaver. Dude, that thing is actually really bulky and really strong. However,
Yeah.
I think Hybrid also didn't really do that much testing with the team. Like, I think he could have done a bit more. Because I think the issue with Hybrid's team is he got. What the hell?
He has a Klefki with hazards because he's freaking singles pill now.
Yeah, dude, he just started playing OU and now he just like he was going on for like 10 minutes while he thinks Alola Mamona would be good in this format, bro. Come on,
Yeah.
hype. So his idea is just to get like a bunch of chip damage and then like knock out all of the opposing Pokemon with like Lycan Rock and stuff. But unfortunately, it didn't really work out in practice because this isn't singles. So let's just see how you did. Oh wait, can you see what's going on? Yeah.
Oh, it looks like I did click Will-O-Wisp. I have dementia, I guess.
Nice. You did click Will-O-Wisp once, which is pretty cool. Serena actually
Yeah.
lives Exeter after the Will-O-Wisp. And look at this Cleaver that did nothing. Also, his Klefki is really fast. I don't know if you realized. I thought that was really interesting. Like, why is
Yeah.
his Klefki so fast? Yo, it's bad, yo, Serena. Luckily, Foul Play didn't kill. Yeah, now we can see why Klefki is so good. That's what I would have said if he clicked Sandstorm. I really don't know why he didn't click Sandstorm. Do you have any idea?
Yeah. No, I don't know.
Like, that's one thing I think
I
is
don't know
really
why I clicked
interesting.
Aurora Veil there because why wouldn't he just Sandstorm?
Yeah. I mean, honestly,
Was I trying to predict the switch? That doesn't make that much sense.
no, yeah. Like we're gonna see in the rest of the video, like respectfully, oftentimes Trevor made plays that didn't really work out. But I think the main thing that won him the tournament is just that his team is so well balanced and it can deal with a lot of the stuff in the meta right now, right? And this is what
Yeah.
we're here to analyze, right? Like we're gonna look at the team and we're gonna look at the plays he made, the good, the bad, and the ugly, right? My favorite movie. And yeah, I think clicking Aurora Veil here, I disagree personally. I mean, it worked out, so you really can't be mad. It's just
Yeah.
like I just don't understand why he switched out Klefki. Like Cleaver is already burned. Like it just did like 35 to an Alolan Ninetales. Like why do you switching Clefable? Like none of your Pokemon are gonna do damage. Like from Hybrid side, right? Like obviously no offense to Hybrid. Like he's a good player. It's just yeah. I don't know. It's just weird to me personally.
Yeah.
And when Hydro Pump misses here, I mean it's Hydro Pump, right? Let's see.
Yeah, of
Yeah, and
course
Blizzard
it's
just
gonna
kills. Like, why do you switch in a clef in front of Blizzard? Like, did you want to like Moonblast or
in the
something?
Thunderbolt para.
Moonblast doesn't even get the knockout. You just said oof. I think that sums it up. And look, now he sandstorms. He
Yeah, I want to
just
save my Ninetales to get rid of Sandstorm later.
yeah. I mean that makes sense. Like you can definitely kill the Klefki at some point. Like it's not really doing anything. I think, like I said, like Hybrid is a good player. I just think his team is like a bit too passive. He should have played a bit more aggressively. Like you basically only got
Yeah.
physical attackers and you get two Will-O-Wisp Pokemon and Aurora
That
Veil.
miss on Ro Thomas was really lucky, and then he hit the Hydro Pump.
Oh yeah.
Almost kills it, but not quite.
Dude, while testing with Lycanroc killed me so many times. Oh, also, a lot of
And
people
then I
didn't
get
know this,
confused
but
because apparently
mhm.
Snow Warning doesn't activate if you die to rocks,
Oh yeah, yeah, this is
which
definitely
is a bit
something Hybrid
goofy.
knew as a singles player. But yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
you lose game one, which yeah, how did you lose? Actually, let's run that back. So you did burn the Cleaver, which got off a lot of damage. I think Cleaver is the biggest threat on his team. I
Yeah.
think the main issue is you let your team get chipped, and then you had Lycanroc clean you up, right?
Losing this arena on turn 2 was pretty bad.
Yeah, I agree. I think Serena is really good here. Because, like, it's really one of
Yeah.
your only offensive Pokemon that you brought. Like, you brought Ninetales, which I guess, like, it can do some damage. Rotom is obviously a huge threat. And then Talonflame, like, Talonflame does have Overheat, but unless you're overheating into, like, Clefable, you really only use it once. And I think we just saw it do, like, 40 to Klefki. How much was it? 43? Yeah. Like, I think you should have brought a few more offensive Pokemon. But I think the biggest issue on his team is the Lycanroc. Because, like I said, if you get your team
Yeah.
weakened, you just lose, right? So, yeah. What do you think? Well, let's go to game two. Oh wait, hold up.
And then just yeah, I clicked Hill and then freaking
Just
killed the
Haven Sacred
Klefki. I don't
Sword.
know why I didn't click Sandstorm.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why I didn't click Sandstorm. Like that's something we were wondering throughout. Like when we were watching the game, I think it was me and something smart. Yeah. Like we're like, why didn't he click Sandstorm? But when he brings out the Hippo, and like I was thinking, like, why did he even bring Hippo? Like Hippo really doesn't do anything
Yeah,
into your team. Like it doesn't beat anything that other Pokemon don't beat, if that makes sense, right? Like I think what he was trying
yeah.
to do, he was trying to be
Also, why did
sneaky.
he
Hmm?
also only having rock moves on a Lycanroc really hurt him here. Because now
Yeah.
it means it can't do much to the Gallade.
No, yeah, I agree.
And now the Gallade just clicks buttons.
Dude, look at this. I mean,
Like that.
this is without the Stellar boost, by the way, right? Like one-shotting a Hippo is just so crazy to me. So yeah, Blizzard, like Ninetales being faster than Lycanroc in the snow is also really good, and the Tailwind, and
Yeah.
then yeah, the Sacred Sword is killing. I mean, at this point, it's just a Jova. Like he lost his best mon, you got your Glade into position perfectly. Dude, one shot and cleaver as well. Like Glade is putting on a show.
Yeah. Gallade's really good, but you need to position it well in
No,
order for
yeah.
it to do much because it's kind of slow and frail.
No, I agree. Like that's what I've been saying for the longest time. Like I think there's been talks about Galate banning since before the last tournament that I won with the Moody team. So that's another thing. Like Galate won two tournaments in a row, and like I don't think this is because like Galate is broken. I think, like you said, like you really have to position yourself with Galate because it's really frail and not that fast. I think it's base 80.
Yeah, it's base 80.
Yeah, and I think in the course of the tournament, we definitely saw you position Galate very well. Let's see if you also bring Galate in this game. I think you definitely should. I think you did.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, you brought Typhlosion.
Yeah, I
Honestly, I
remember leaving
disagree
the
with the
Terra
play here
Water
by Hybrid.
because like then I just T-Bolt him.
Yeah, I think you just did, right? Just Eruption T-Bolt, yeah.
And then he just didn't click a status move on the Klefki for whatever
Yeah,
reason.
he also clicked Foul Play. Dude, I don't know what's up with Hybrid, man. Like, he's a really good player. I don't know why
Yeah.
he's playing this way, honestly. I think singles got to him, man. I don't know.
He was
Like,
saving his good play for the singles tournament he had later that day.
oh, and when he lost to Stall, bro, which is ironic.
Yeah. Rip.
No, yeah, I mean, I personally very much disagree with Hyrule play here. Like, he got second in the last tournament too. Like, I don't know. Maybe
Yeah.
maybe I need to build another team with him for the next one. But yeah, let's see. So here you
Yeah.
switch in your like I almost just said Lycanroc. Your Gallade into the Lycanroc, and like Lycanroc doesn't do anything, which is so crazy.
Yeah, just click Y guard.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that might have been the only time I clicked Y guard in this whole tourney.
no, I think so. Yeah, like I think White Get on Gallade is so weird because like it one shots your entire team. Like you don't want Gallade to protect your
Yeah.
teammate. You would want like to have a teammate to have White Guard to protect Gallade, right? But like,
In hindsight, maybe something like Leaf Blade or something
mm,
would have been better. Maybe Aqua Cutter, depends.
yeah, Leaf Blade would have been really good into Rain. Like I also think Shadow Sneak is really underrated on Gallade. Like what I ran in one of the test teams, I ran Terra Ghost Gallade with Shadow Sneak because you are immune to Fake Out, and you can Shadow Sneak against like so many priority Pokemon.
Yeah.
Like we have Scizor, we have like Sucker Punch, Toxicroaks. I think I was the only one who used that though. You have what else do you have? Actually, you don't have that many priority moves. I mean, you have lots of prankster Pokemon, and like Pokemon like Killer Buttrell are also Pokemon you wanted to Shadow Sneak for sure. Like lots of Sash mons.
Yeah.
Maybe Shadow Sneak would have been good. Yeah, let's see. So here, I was watching this and I was praying you don't get flinched. Like I was definitely rooting for
Yeah.
Trevor to win this, and yeah, he did. So hell yeah, dude. Yeah, and here comes Typhlosion. And then here I was also thinking like Eruption, like bro, just Shadow Ball kills. Or like Heat Wave. I mean, yeah, Heat Wave and Overheat can miss. I mean, didn't matter at the end of
Yeah,
the
but if I
day.
clicked Shadow Ball, then I couldn't click Funny Sacred Sword.
No, I agree. No, I'm just saying this for the sake of a video. Like, obviously, it doesn't matter
Yeah.
what you click here, because, like, if you attacked your Gallade, you would have gotten the Russian off and probably gotten the kill. It's just, like, I just wanna overanalyze things for the sake of
I
a
feel like
video, right?
Eruption would have killed if he didn't Accelerock me because he did like 59% or something. Did
Oh,
it
really?
like half of its health at that
Hmm.
after that damage.
Oh, we actually get to see the game against something smart. Dude, I think the game order is wrong, but
So
no,
Swiss
wait,
too,
you
not
played him twice, didn't you? Because I think we
yeah.
lost one of the top card games, but it's okay. We got this game now,
Yeah, we
so
lost the semifinal game.
dude, that's actually crazy. Losing semifinals. Hey, you did bring Typhlosion to this too. Okay, I take back what I said about Typhlosion. Yeah, but this is also an interesting decision here. Like, I was so proud of you for
At
clicking
least I
Heat Wave
clicked
after
Heat
you clicked
Wave.
after you clicked Eruption in the last one. Like, I didn't think the Titan was faster than Straft Typhlosion. I think it's running a lot of speed on this.
Yeah, it's almost certainly max speed.
Hmm. When just
That's what
knocking
I
out
think.
Ninetales turn 1 is just so good. Because you got 1, 2, 3 Pokemon weak to fire.
Yeah.
And then, like, dude, I lost so many games to Belly Dumps the Titan. I mean, so many is exaggerated, but like the thing is really, really good. And like what something
Yeah.
smart did is he built a team featured around Belly Dumps the Titan. We should probably look at the team sheet really quick. So you got Lion Tails, Encore Disable, which is actually my idea. Anyways, Citrus Berry is the Titan with Belly Drum and Earthquake. Clefable support, Scrafty, Assault Vest, and then Specs, Rotom, and Vivillon. We already talked about this. I think Vivillon needs to go because he didn't bring it oftentimes. And what we're gonna see
Yeah.
in these games is like oftentimes the Titan will get knocked out, and then he just doesn't have any damage left. And I think what you did, Trevor, here is really smart. Just getting rid of the
Yeah.
Titan turn one, like that's so big. Like at this point, it's basically impossible for him to recover because, as you can see, like he does have a Rotom, which is like the only other Pokemon that can do damage. Dude, and here,
And just do most of its health. Why
yeah,
did I click Sacred Sword? No one knows, I think.
yeah, I
Oh
think
yeah, no, I didn't click Sacred Sword because I was trying to bait follow me.
no, yeah, I think you made a slight misplay here. Let me think. I was commentating this and I was like, I think you made a misplay with. Oh no, 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 you didn't. No, Psychic Cut into Heatwave is always a play because Clefable can protect, right? Oh, it cannot protect. Okay, hmm. Because
Yeah,
I was
I clicked
thinking,
Sacred Sword. I clicked Psycho Cup because I didn't want to follow me.
hmm. No, I was thinking here, if you double the Clefable, it just gets knocked out, right? I mean, to be fair, Rotom also gets knocked out if you double. No, actually, this is fine. This is a good play. Just attack what's in front of you. Make sure not to get follow me baited. I think this worked out. I think the issue was that yeah, we're gonna see it later because of a miss. Rotom didn't get knocked out, and this actually makes the game a bit tough. Oh no, here Protect was a misplay. That was the one that I
Yeah,
was.
it was.
I actually like if Psycho Cut doesn't wait. Let me think. Because if you attack with Psycho Cut here and like Clefable Moonblast, obviously Gallade goes down. It didn't. That's not what happened because he doubled with Talonflame, right? But let's go off like a
Yeah.
worst case scenario. You Moonblast your Gallade and you attack into it. Like you can actually that doesn't make sense because if you just Psycho Cut into Rotom, like Rotom dies if he doesn't follow me, which he didn't, and you win the game immediately, right? And then if you
Yeah.
Psycho Cut into the follow me, Rotom is only attacking one of your Pokemon. So if Rotom knocks out the Gallade, you get to knock out Clefable next turn, and then the last Pokemon can kill the Rotom. Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
I think it's still in there since I have my Rotom in the back and I can just clean up.
Yeah. I mean, assuming you're faster, right? Oh, you have Tailwind, never mind. Yeah, so we saw Psycho Cut doing 61. Yeah, actually, I don't know if Overheat would have killed. I mean, at the end of the day, you won this with a
Yeah.
Tailwind. I flew so hard, SMH. Yeah, like the Protect was definitely a misplay.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, but like I said, like if you hit Heatwave, you just win the game immediately. But it's okay, we are here to learn those things. Alright, let's see how something smart adapts in game
Yeah.
2. Like, I was thinking if I'm something smart, I lead Clefable, Titan, and the Terra Water Belly Drum. But he led Rotom, and I was like, why did he do this? And I think the idea was to Volt Switch Belly Drum, which is something that he did in testing against me. Like, obviously, you wouldn't have known unless you watched the games. So yeah,
Yeah.
like Volt switch does so much into Galate, even though Zverev is really good. And here comes Vivillon, and yeah, turn one definitely didn't work out too well.
Yeah.
Like I'm thinking, like the thing is, I watch these games live, right? And I was watching these lives live, and I was like, bro, Volt switch into Vivillon is so obvious. At least try to triple Excel. Like the thing is, obviously, like I'm just telling this to the viewers right now, right? Like the thing is, when you're watching a game, like and you're analyzing it, like just because something happened doesn't mean it was like the right decision to make, right? Like for example,
Yeah.
right, just because a volt switch happened doesn't mean it's the best play to triple axel into the rotom, right? However, like I was watching the
Yeah.
game live, so I have like a different perspective on things. Like I was watching the game live and I was like, okay, this is really obvious, like not really obvious, but like it's relatively obvious. He's gonna volt switch into Vivillon because if you look at Rotom, right, like what do you wanna do? You wanna like Drain Punch, maybe Psycho Cut and Power Whip with Rotom, right? Like you really wanna Power Whip it. So volt switching into
Yeah.
something that resists it makes sense. And then you also have a Vivillon next to the Belly Drum Pokemon, and you can Rage Powder away Galate's hit, right? So I think the play would have
The
been.
Vivian doesn't have Rage Powder.
Oh, does it not? Oh, oh, interesting. Maybe the idea was to sleep powder. I mean, it's effectively the same thing in this
Yeah.
scenario because you can't Rage Powder Sarina, right? So if you sleep powder the Galate, like you're cooking, so I think like if you don't want to make the hard call of triple excelling the Rotom turn one, which I'd understand, like another thing you could have done is Psycho Cut power with Vivillon, but obviously then you would
Yeah.
have to be scared about the Titan because if the Titan Meltdowns you just loses, right? So like I think overall, even though the turn didn't play out perfectly, like yeah, maybe you should have just taken some more risk. What do you think?
Yeah. Feel like maybe I could have done something better to try to prevent Volt Switch.
Hmm.
But sometimes my mind just sees, oh, I can kill this thing. I better go for it.
Oh yeah. No, yeah, I think that's the mistake that lots of players make. Like it's just like the easy dopamine, right? Like, oh, let's just kill this, and then oh, Incineroar switches in, it's over. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got super effective blindness.
No, yeah. I mean that's fine. Like it worked in the last game pretty well, but in the last game the opponent couldn't protect and they couldn't really pivot.
Yeah.
But in this game they adapted really well. So yeah. Like another thing you could have done is protect, but like if you double protect and he belly drums, like it's Jova. You know, cause he just
Yeah.
goes nine tails and he just clicks buttons. So yeah,
Yeah.
no, I think overall, like I think at the end of the day, it worked out. Here's for sleep powder, and I think belly drum, right? Yeah. Like I think I definitely would have power whip the Titan here.
Why did I
Hmm.
Yeah, I definitely should have power whipped us to Titan, because now he just sends in Ninetales.
Yeah. And now he doesn't even need to terror, so power whip isn't gonna do much. And he also gets the encore off, which I think was such a good play.
Yeah.
Like this encore disable Ninetales is really good. Like we were talking earlier, like something smart on I, cause like I said, like I used encore disable Ninetales in one of the earlier tournaments, but it was like a regular Ninetales. Like I told him encore disable can be really good, but I personally think Icy Wind or something would have been good too. But it doesn't really come to
Yeah.
like it doesn't really happen in this set, yeah. And now you just get rolled by the Titan. I mean, I've been there.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think he played it really smart. Like going for the Titan, protecting and volt switching turn one was a really good player.
Yeah.
Let's see what you did game three. I feel like another thing you have to consider about his team, it's very much loads of mind games. Like does he lead the Titan, does he belly
Yeah.
drum so on and so forth. Now here we see him do the exact same thing which he did last time, and he bought Typhlosion. And he protects and does he volt switch? Or he just Hydro Pumps. Yeah, I think this also was a misplay of his. Like I was really wondering why he didn't just volt switch. I think he just saw
Yeah.
Typhlosion and he was like, no, I have to knock this out because it hits all of my team for super effective. But Volt Switch is knocking Typhlosion into a range where it doesn't click Eruption anyways, right? Like, I don't
Yeah.
know. I think Volt Switch would have been better personally, but what do you think?
Yeah, like either way, I just switch in Sarina and it doesn't take that much. Like it could still
Hmm.
just send in like Clefable or Ninetales though,
Yeah,
which makes it risky.
yeah, I think that's the biggest issue here, because like you got the tailwind up, which I think is crucial for beating a Body Dumpster Titan, because
Yeah,
most of your mons cannot speed it. I think that's a very good idea. But now that you did call the Protect turn one, like you can just Power Whip into Overheat into the Titan with the line that you went for, right?
hope so.
Yeah. So like I don't know why, like I said, I don't know why World Switch didn't come out, but let's just see what happens here. Oh, he switches out
Yeah,
Wet
just
Kite
wait
to
for
Ninetales.
Ninetales.
Or you Will-O-Wisp. That also works. And Power Whip misses
I
Rotom,
suppose,
which is really
of course.
bad. I mean, Will-O-Wisp is also a good play. Let's see, Taunt
Yeah,
Ninetales. Yeah, Taunt Ninetales is so good. I think you did that. Oh no, wait. In the game that we didn't save, I remember you didn't Taunt Ninetales. And then it just went crazy. You still ended up winning. But yeah, I think that's one of the
yeah.
mistakes you made. But in this game, you did taunt it, which is really good. One
Yeah,
of
I
the
know I
games that.
lost game one in semifinals too.
Yeah, yeah, I think. No, yeah. I don't know exactly what happens. It's a shame we don't have those games anymore. I think
Yeah,
in the one where you didn't taunt it, you ended up winning though. And here you get a bit unlucky with a struggle, but that's fine because now Galate
yeah,
gets to come in. Unfortunately, Tailwind is over, but Ninetales still is forced to struggle. And
yeah.
here, I think that's another time you
45% to
power
a
whipped
quad
into.
resist is
Yeah,
kind of funny.
yeah. I was like, bro, what are you doing? But it's okay. It doesn't matter at this point. I think. I mean, there's still a chance you lose.
Yeah,
Oh, dude, bringing in the Typhlosion here was really good. Let's see if you click Eruption.
really,
Okay, thank God.
it was
No, yeah.
lucky like that.
Actually, like he positioned himself really well. Where he punished your mistake
Maybe
of.
just wake up power up and he dies.
Yeah, he just wake up power whip. I mean, to be fair, Wotan could have died turn one as well. But yeah, I think
Yeah,
it's funny you made the same mistake of like going for a power whip into what was it? Into the Vivillon.
remember like going to him, he was thinking, okay, I'm not gonna try and power whip the Vivian again.
Yeah. Or power whip Drain Punch was it, right? Or Sacred Sword,
Yeah,
yeah.
Sacred Sword
Oof.
still did like
Yeah.
most of its health.
Could have cost you the game, but it didn't, so. But we already talked about that earlier. Alright. Oh, next up we played against Hayes. Oh, I don't see the team
Yeah,
sheet for Hayes. Oh, here it is. So, Hayes got a Scarf Typhlosion, Lilligant, Meowstic with Fake Out, Conkeldurr,
yeah.
and then the Executor got a lot of heat because people are saying it doesn't have Draco Meteor. But listen. As the person who
At least
suggested
he
him to use
gave
this
it his money.
Executor, what Pokemon are you hitting Draco Meteor on? Like, there's like one Dragon type that's
Yeah.
good in the format right now, and that's Kingdra, and like, you're not beating Kingdra with
Like
this
Kingdra
team.
itself runs Draco Meteor, but that's only because it's a nuke option.
No, yeah. Like, most of the time, you only really want it because you're facing down, like a Gastrodon, for example. But yeah, last
Yeah,
Pokemon Gastrodon. Like, the idea with this Executor is obviously the harvest stuff. But yeah, you just taunt it, and now it has to click Giga Drain. So, yeah. Here comes the
he
Gastrodon.
tries
Another
to find
taunt
a way
comes
by
out.
Rotom Watch. You guess he tried to predict a switch or something.
Yeah, like the thing about Hayes is he's, I think, the only player who plays him as tournament who's new at the game. He actually did better than Hybrid, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
So there's probably not much to analyze from your perspective. Because, yeah, I mean, switching in Gastrodon into a grass type and then having it die to a grass move is not something an experienced
yeah.
player would do, I think. But let's see.
Here.
Protect Conkelda, I mean, that's fine. Oh, Power Whip on the incoming Executor is actually a good player. Like, I
Yeah,
think,
wait a minute. So
like, Hayes is probably
and then
watching
he
this
does
video.
something a
Hmm?
bit. I remember on this turn he does something a bit goofy.
Oh, nice. We're gonna see that out. Check that out in a bit. It's just I wanna say something. Like Hayes, I know you're probably watching this. Yo, shout out. you know. And one piece of advice I would really give to you is that like I saw you do this a lot. Like you terrestrialize your Pokemon really early, and that gives you a huge disadvantage, right? For other new players watching, like Pokemon is all about information, right? Like
Yeah,
what Pokemon you terrestrialize. that gives the opponent so much information that you might not even think about as a new player, right? For example, terrestrializing Executor shows to Trev, okay, he wants to use Executor to leech seed and Giga Drain and then have a Citrus Berry Harvest strategy at the end of the game, right? So what he's gonna do, he's gonna save his Talonflame, which has Taunt, in order to beat the Executor, right? Which usually you do not save Talonflame for anything, right? But because you Tarot, now Talonflame is gonna stay in the back to taunt the Executor and make it like
Yeah.
easy to beat, right? And like another thing is, if you don't terrestrialize, your opponent has to think about if you're gonna terrestrialize every single turn, and that's such a big difference. Like in a like mental battle where it's all about like thinking and figuring out what the opponent wants to do, like knowing this really really big thing that could completely change the game isn't gonna happen anymore gives you such a big advantage. So always try to terrestrialize late unless you're like really really confident. But yeah, that's my advice to
I
you.
like I tear turn 1 because I really wanted to get my taunt off on the
Yeah. Wait,
lead
let me go back
executor.
to
Did
turn
he lead
one.
executor or something? I
No, I
forgot.
think
What
I
did he
think he was
lead?
leading with, yeah, he led with
Oh
Executor
yeah, he
every
led
also.
executor. I really wanted to taunt it, so I just teared
Yeah.
Ghost to avoid fake
Uh,
bite, even though he predicted it.
yeah, that's a good. I mean, that's a good
I
use of
really
Terra
did
turn
not
one.
want
Like you
Trickroom
don't
to
need
go
Terra
up.
for anything else on the team, and if you really need the Terra for something like this, it's totally worth going for. But you gotta understand, this is not usual, right? Like if you watch every other game of Trevor, like I don't think Terra came out early in a single game except for when he used Typhlosion. But
Yeah,
yeah, like that's also Typhlosion, right? So that's my advice to newer players watching this. So let's see. Now we see the eruption come off. That's going to do so
and my
much.
eruption off does a good chunk on Conkeldurr.
Nice.
And instead of weakening Typhlosion, he just drink punches this arena for whatever reason. I guess it's because doesn't want to lose his Executor,
Yeah.
which makes sense, I guess.
Yeah. Like
But I
he
feel like
really.
knockoff into
Mhm.
Typhlosion would have been a bit better.
Yeah. Like he really wanted to win with Executor, and like that's a good strategy. But if you bring out Executor early and you terrestrialize it, like you make it so obvious for the opponent you're gonna try to win the game with Executor. So Trev
Yeah,
just killed what's around it, and now Executor cannot win the game anymore because you cannot touch Serena. Serena can power whip because Executor terrored. Like otherwise, Triple X also would have been fine, but yeah, like I really like using Harvest Pokemon in this format. But the thing about these is, like, instead of having the opponent kill your Pokemon, you would want to kill the opposing Pokemon that threaten the Harvest Pokemon, right? So, for example, if Talonflame got knocked out early, that would have freed up Executor a ton because of Leech Seed and
yeah,
Protect, right? And if Tsarina would have been gone, Executor also would have been freed up a ton because obviously you cannot Leech Seed grass types. If it was just Hisuian type Flosion and Rotom, for example, like Executor could have clutched with 2v1 like 10 times out of 10,
yeah,
I think. Especially, like, you have to be careful with Terror. Like, I probably would have terrored something else, but, like, yeah, like I said, if Tsarina just takes like 50% more damage and Talonflame dies, which is also at 59, right? Like, you just win the game. So, yeah. Let's see the
yeah.
next game, though.
Also, stuff like this is why I feel like taunt is kind of mandatory on your
Mm,
team
no, I
because there's a
agree.
lot of shenanigans.
Like, in this format, there are, like you said, like, there are so many shenanigans. Well, I think they built another
Yeah,
team in the server. Let's see what it looks like. Oh, dude, Sizzle says we want his perspective. Join in.
means
Yeah, I think this game is pretty similarly. Like, I think I was watching this with something smart, and like we saw the Terra turn one, and we were just both
yeah,
like, what? I mean, I was like, what do I even say? And he was like, no, no, we can still analyze it. So like one thing, oh no, that was another game. Like he did this in another game as well. I think against when he played against Sizzle, where oh what's up Sizzle, where he terrestrialized into a ghost type
what's up?
turn one, and like there was literally nothing threatening the Lilligant. But it's okay. Like we already talked about Terra. Let's see in this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Thunder Wave on a Sewer and Typhlosion in the sun. Like that's not gonna make the Conkeldurr outspeed. And unfortunately, I think his Typhlosion didn't clutch for
Yeah.
3v1.
It did
Yeah.
not.
I think the issue
But
that Hayes
and
had in
then
this battle is mostly like his speed control options are very limited. Versus you have a Tailwind Talonflame, which is probably one of the best, if not the best, Tailwind setters in this format,
yeah.
and he just got overwhelmed. Like that's also a bit of a team building issue. Like I tried to tell him beforehand, but it's okay. Like we're all here to learn. All right,
Yeah.
now we go against the game. Now we go against Sizzle. This is finals already, right?
No, that's Swiss 4.
That's first four and then finals. All right, Sizzle, are you here? What's
Yeah.
up? Like, what do you think about the matchup?
This matchup, like I was saying before,
Hmm.
um, it's pretty bad for me. Just kind of like a basic rundown is that Flame with Tailwind will always outspeed all of my Pokemon. I will go over this later, but my Kingdra is also modest and not adamant, so um, pretty much anything that I expect to outspeed using Swift Swim would be possible with Talonflame's Tailwind, which is why that
Hmm.
becomes such a problematic matchup.
Also, by the
Um,
way, how much speed investment did you have on the Kingdra?
it's 252, but no boosting nature.
That's I feel like most of the times you want to run like not that much speed because you just
Hmm.
outspeed everything anyway. And you just it benefits a lot from the extra bulk.
Yeah, maybe, but that's I felt like 252 was a comfortable spot for me.
Yeah,
No,
I
yeah.
agree
I mean,
because
it
then
makes
it's also
sense.
kind of
Like,
good against at
it's
least
reasonable to
80
expect like a Kingdom
Pokemon in
mirror, so you would
talent.
want to be slower.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Anyways, let me finish talking about the matchup real quick. Sorry, I'm taking
Uh,
really long, but
don't worry about it.
the next thing
Oh,
the next thing is that Gallade will post all of my Pokemon, and then Ninetales can cut off my rain. And then the only way I have of hitting Ninetales for good damage is Scizor, but Serena's uh, ability blocks my attack, right? My
bullet
bullet
punch.
punch, so I can't use that either. Yeah, it's a pretty negative matchup. I did want to hear Harold's thoughts on, or not Harold's, Trevor's thoughts on this matchup as well.
yeah, it was kind of spooky for me because I don't like do not want to have to deal with that Kingdra, especially since you said it's like 252 speed. That means it, like outspeeds my Gallade and Tailwind, and it just kills it with a Weather Ball or something.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think honestly, Sizzle, I think you were stressing a bit too much about the matchup. Like, I think it's like I think I said this to the other people already. It's like wait, what happened? Whatever. I think it's like your best idea or your best game plan would have been to like have Trevor Tailwind, which he did in most games, I think, and then try to stall out the Tailwind and go for
Mhm.
late game rain. Or what you could have
It's
done.
so hard to stall out
Hmm.
Wind with Gallade just outgoing everything. That was my whole problem.
No, I get you, but I think, like Trevor said, like I don't think killing a late was like as difficult as it seems. Like you have so many moves that can one shot it, right? Like you have the killer Watchel, which also has a focus sash, right? So like you can
Yeah,
always
yeah, that's
one hit one it.
something that is
Hmm.
true. I'm sorry for interrupting.
Oh no,
Go
it's
ahead.
okay. Like happens. Like you have
Yeah.
the
Um,
Brambleghast with Poltergeist. I don't think Scissor one shots, but it gets it really low and you can always finish it off with Bullet Punch. Like Kingdra basically one shots it with every move as well. So like if you either can like knock out Vigilate in one hit, or you can try to like outstall the Tailwind and then win the game, or maybe even match the Tailwind. I
hmm,
think we have such a good advantage. But like you said, like it's not easy. Like I'm not saying this is easy. I'm just saying like we have a fighting chance.
yes,
So
I certainly overstated the matchup when I was in my practice, but
mm,
almost all of these things that I thought through, like for example, my idea was like I can't lead Kingdra and Politoed
mm,
because there's no way for me to kill. I overestimated Glade basically because I thought it was a lot
mm.
bulkier than it actually. Because
No,
like
yeah.
after a burn, my Brambleghast still
Okos.
almost one hit KO'd.
Mm,
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah. Did you check if your
So
Gas is faster?
it's not faster. I,
Ah,
I
okay.
I'm pretty sure I checked and it wasn't fast.
Oh yeah. All right. Anything else to
But
say?
yeah.
Okay, we get into
All right,
the
let's get
game.
into it. Into it.
Oh yeah, you can get into the
Oh yeah.
game.
Also, I should probably say, Sizzle also got a YouTube channel where he's gonna post a breakdown of his team that he used. It's a really good team. So yeah, check it out as soon as it comes out. But let's get into the game. So this is like Swiss round, right? And then after that is finals. Wait, there are only 5
Yeah.
games. Okay, so here Talonflame, Tailwind, Rotom Will-O-Wisp, and Muddy Water. I think.
I feel like Wisp
Interesting.
was a bit of a misplay, but it still might work out.
Yeah,
I
like
actually did get off my tail end, so
no, I like that you went for Tailwind turn one. Like here, I'm thinking since we talked
yeah.
about like trying to outstall the Tailwind,
No, Wisp was a misplay.
like why did you try to kill Talonflame, for example? Like it's a Talonflame against the Rain team with Overheat as its only move. If you just like click U-turn with Scissor into the Rotom, and you just like I don't know Draco Meteor, for example, into either Talonflame or Rotom, like you can have the Talonflame stay on the field, not do anything except for burn Pokemon, right? Which against the Rain team, like you have so many special attackers. Like you can that's one way to make it easier to outstall the Rain, if that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Does that make sense? Like I think I like what Trevor went for here with the Tailwind. And now Serena comes in. And Serena is threatening a lot of damage into the Kingdra. But obviously it protects here, so Bug Bite. Dude, I thought Bug Bite was so funny when he got back with Citrus Bay.
Yeah. I remember once I used Scizor and I bug bit a Milotic that had a pinch berry and I got confused. And that was like the first time I've ever seen that happen.
Dude, that's epic. Dude, and also here, like Kingdra just protected, right? So now it's gonna be vulnerable to the moves of the George Washing Machine and with Serena. So why didn't Scissor switch in? Like it didn't take that much from Thunderbolt and it also resists Power Whip 4 times, right? That's another thing that I think could have outstalled the Tailwind. And now as we see here, like Sizzle, you get your Killer Buttrell in, right? You got the Sash intact,
Mm.
and you outstalled all of the turns. So why didn't you like do this in other games too, right? Like that's what I'm thinking. I think that's how you could have won, right?
Yeah, maybe. But I felt like I lost so much health while trying to deal my damage,
Hmm.
or while trying to stall a tailwind, where I felt like after like, is this game one?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
game
this
one.
game run, I think.
Yeah, so in game one, I expected
Yeah.
like one of the stronger sweepers is to just come in at the end, and I felt like I didn't. I think that was my thought process where I felt like I
Hmm.
didn't have much I could do them.
Yeah. No, I agree. Like I think that's definitely a way to go about this. But I think you just got a bit like frustrated, like a bit tunnel vision because you thought it was a bad matchup, right? Like I said, I think there are
Yeah,
better ways to like keep Kingdra alive, for example, if you just switch in Scissor last turn. Like also like I see the Terror and Killer Buttrell, but like why did you go for Thunderbolt into the Tsarina? Like obviously that's like an over prediction, but like what's wrong with just hurricaning, right? Like you don't like obviously since
Even
it
if I
is a
do
bad
Terra, you
matchup.
will get quite a bit of damage off of Hurricane.
Hmm. Like it might have even killed. Like Thunderbolt at 21, so Hurricane doing more than double would. I mean more than yeah, would definitely have killed, right? Like I'm not saying it would have made like a huge difference or something. It's more like if you keep the Kingdra alive, you set up Tailwind in the late game and Rain. Like Kingdra just kills everyone, right? I think.
yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
And
I
now with
think
Ninetales being the last Pokemon, like if you get in the Politoed here, like Ninetales obviously can Moonblast, which is really scary. But you have your Killer Buttrell and your Politoed to deal with it, right? Like you can Encore it if it doesn't click Moonblast, which I think Encore here was really good, like the Encore into Protect and the Tailwind.
Yeah.
That was a really good play. Just didn't end up working out with a rotom and everything. Oh, actually, this got really close. This is the game that got really close, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So going back, I realized I thought like Trick Room wasn't useful at all. Or not Trick
Mm.
Room. What's it called? Perish Song wasn't useful at all.
Oh yeah.
But the thing is like these are like the kind of matchups where I do actually need Perish Song over anything else.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
that's just like as a little bit of a heads up, I'm not planning to retire this team just yet because I feel like it's a
Mm.
very strong team
No, it
and
is.
there's more that I can do with it.
Mm. No,
Oh
yeah.
yeah. So
Like
the
also.
end game,
Mm.
yeah, especially after I clicked Weather Ball or Encore instead of Weather Ball, I'm like, it's
Mm.
over. So
Yeah. No, I agree.
yeah, and
I do
then
think.
game two,
Mm. You go ahead.
nothing. I'll just move on to the next game. Go ahead.
Oh yeah. No, I think the main takeaway from this game is if you don't throw away your king draw, you win this game. I think. Cause look at how close this was, right?
Mhm.
If you just got a bit of damage on the
Yeah,
Ninetales or on the Rotom, like 30, Weatherball was doing like 30 or something, right? Like if you just do a bit of damage to the
yeah,
Rotom, like you can knock it out and then beat the Ninetales 1v1, right? Or if
yeah.
you do like 58, like that's the Draco Meteor, right? Like you beat the Ninetales 1v1. If you keep your killer Wattrel a bit more healthy by clicking Hurricane, you can click Hurricane here or Thunderbolt, right? For example, because the Sash is
Gotcha.
still intact.
Hmm.
Like I think it's a lot of small mistakes. And then like the Kingdra, like I said, the Kingdra I think that just was a throw. I think if you keep the Kingdra you just win the game. But yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I think I was over preparing for something in the back.
Mm,
I don't, you're actually right. I'm not sure why I played like this, but
no,
I
I mean
did
it's
try to make
okay.
the
Like
adjustment.
we all make mistakes, you know. I mean I'm glad I didn't play honestly because now I get to be mean to you guys, but like I'm sure if we go back
Yeah.
and analyze my games from the past tournaments, like you could say things that make me look really bad, obviously. But I mean that's the fun
Mhm.
of it, right? Like we're here to learn this kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Like I think when I realized like oh my god this is so fun is when I think it was you and something smart talking about your guys' match and you guys were like over analyzing it like so much and I was like
Mhm.
hell yeah dude. I think this stuff is so
Yeah,
fun. So what are you guys thinking for
for
game
sure.
two?
If I remember correctly, I think my strategy was now to just try to blow things up with
Mm,
yeah, I think I remember now. I think I was really over preparing for Ninetales switching in, so I felt like Kingdra wouldn't be able to do its job effectively with whenever Ninetales came in. So I
mm,
played very scared game one. So game two, I think like I'm gonna try to do the same strategy, but use Kingdra a little bit more.
mm.
At least that's what I would do now. I'm not sure exactly what I do.
No, I
Yeah.
like I like the
Kingdra is
idea.
a huge
Like
problem
as
for me here.
hmm?
And just saying that Kingdra is not much a good thing for my team here because it
Mm,
just blows everything up kind of.
yeah. Like I said earlier, like I think the two ways to win this is either like the defensive play that I talked about earlier, or blowing things up with Kingdra. So let's see what happened here. So we see the Kingdra and the Scizor again. Dude, oh I remember this game. Dude, look at this, dude. This just made me feel so bad, like bro.
Yeah, I didn't expect that at all, which is kind of I was like, yeah, I can probably take a sacred sword,
Yeah, but
but
with it.
apparently not.
Oh wait, he didn't Terra turn one, did he? Wait, let me watch that back. No, he didn't. Dude, yeah. I mean that's Galate for you. Like if you leave it alone, it just kills everything. Like I think if you Terra Stellar and you switched in Politoed, just click Muddy Water, like you would have been
Yeah,
faster than
going back
Galate, and
Yeah.
I
for
think you would
sure,
have
but
been
I did
dead.
not know that it did that much damage.
Like you could have also Weather Balled that Draco did, right? Like if you just kill Galate here, which is the biggest threat to your team, like the game just looks
Hmm,
so different.
Yeah.
But now I think Galate just kills everyone, right?
Yeah.
pretty much.
Yeah. I mean, look at the
Like
Sacred Sword one-shotting, and that's without the boost, right? Oh no, that's turn 2, so with the boost of Stellar. But like still, like it's an assault where Scissor just getting one-shot, which is by a neutral move. Like that's just so crazy. And now Toxic Quote can't even like fake out, so Trevor just has to hit his moves, or
yeah.
Serena.
Yeah.
Dude, Trevor actually went crazy. Hell yeah, me cheering in the chat. Alright, so like I said, unfortunately the semi-finals got lost to time. But now finals, guys. Finals were really, really interesting, so make sure to watch till the end and like
Yeah.
and subscribe and stuff. So now that you had the group game, right? Like 1-4, whatever it was of playoffs of the group phase. What are you thinking for finals?
I
So
think I was still
oh,
just
you can go
worried
first.
about my that Kingdra just killing
Mm,
everything, and I knew that I could, if I use Gallade properly, then I could just win easily.
yeah,
So I just knew I needed to position my Gallade correctly here, which was the big thing.
yeah.
For me, after I saw the amount of damage that Gallade or Scizor did to Gallade that first game, I realized that I'm sort of relying on my primary sweeper of Kingdra,
Mm,
I could be relying on Bramblegast. The thing about Bramblegast is that I have this I have Bullet Seed or I have Terra Dark, right? If he
mm,
Sacred Swords, I don't have to Terra. If he Psycho Cuts, I can Terra Dark, right? That's just
mm,
a 50-50 I have to make, and I feel
yeah,
like yeah, I feel like I was pretty sure that that's like what it would come down to. But that was my primary thing. The other thing is that I also have a raw hurricane into Gallade.
yeah.
And then yeah, I realized that Scizor was good, but it's not doing what it needed to, so I'm pretty sure I left
Mm,
Scizor behind this game. But it was very much like a thing of like I need to bring 4 Pokemon, but there's like 5 Pokemon that are good here. You know what I'm
mm,
saying? So it's like which ones do I bring
mm.
was the main issue.
Like I think like going for the Terra Brambleghast 50-50 worked out really well. Spoilers. I think going for Brambleghast isn't a bad idea. Like if you go Brambleghast Kilowattrel, both of them have Protect, right? Actually, let me just
Oh
go.
yeah, I remember thinking about how I thought he was going to bring Bramble
Let me go to the team
Gas this
sheets.
game because it would have been good in
Mm,
game one
no, I agree.
against the
So like
Fighting Blade.
you have Brambleghast and Kilowattrel. You can outstall Tailwind, and then you would probably have to bring Toxic Rope because otherwise Serena basically walls them, right? Like I mean, to be fair, Hurricane does hit
Mhm.
it, but that's not as reliable, I think.
Yeah.
And also, you might want to use Killer Wattrel for other things when killing Serena, right? So,
Yeah.
Toxic Rogue also matches up into Ninetales, which is probably coming to this. So, then the issue is you cannot bring your Rain mode if you do this, right? Because then you already have
Mhm.
3 Pokemon.
But the cool part is that
Hmm.
Weather Ball is such a strong move that Politoed can be the rain mode. And then of course I have
Yeah,
Hurricane
yeah,
and Dry Skin as well. So
yeah.
it's
No, I
it's
like that.
like a weaker rain mode.
Hmm. No, I agree. I see the vision here. I mean, like I said earlier, though, I think the two main ways of beating Trevor that I talked about earlier would also work really well here. But obviously, that's not what you went for, right? So we're discussing like other options. So I think if you bring Kingdra, if you leave Kingdra on the bench, like that could be another factor. Could be that Trevor like expects the Kingdra to be in the back, like he positions himself in a way where he does not lose to Kingdra, but then you don't have Kingdra, right? So you can do other things and like bring out the Toxic Rogue, for
Yeah, I
example.
was kind of expecting the Kingdra.
Mm. So let's see what happens here, right? So we see the Killer Wattrel and the Brambleghast against the Talonflame and Galade. Dude, Willow Whispering turn 1 is so interesting, because like after one T-Bolt you're already in range of Shadow Sneak, right? But I guess it worked out because Poltergeist came out. But he still died, goodbye. Dude, I thought this turn 1 was so good for Scizor here, because he traded his Brambleghast for Galade, right? Galade being the biggest threat.
Yeah,
Like I think Trevor, that was just not a good trade. Like
it was not.
like I think what you
Oh
could have
wait,
done
and
differently.
also
Mhm.
I did outspeed you. I didn't
Yeah,
realize that.
yeah, but I think that's really important because that means you can just always go Kilowatt and Brambleghast. The issue is obviously Talonflame does have Prankster Tailwind, right? And Kilowatt doesn't. So if Trevor leads Galate and Talonflame clicks Tailwind Psycho Cut, you don't outspeed, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But
That
what you
was my
could,
fear.
yeah, like another thing you could do is you could protect Brambleghast and Tailwind. So when at this point it becomes mind games, which I feel like you
Yeah,
said, like the
that
matchup
was
is
a
pretty.
spoiler.
Hmm?
Yeah, that's also something I thought about clicking. But I didn't want him to be able to click Tailwind and then on the next turn also have Will-O-Wisp
Mm,
up, which is why I made the 50-50. Like if he goes for Tailwind,
mm.
then uh goes for Tailwind. I made the call that he wouldn't go for Tailwind,
Ah,
basically.
yeah, yeah. I mean, that's an interesting decision, I think, because after Talonflame gets like any kind of damage, it doesn't have its priority Tailwind anymore, right? So we think with Talonflame and with format
Yeah.
is you really have to click Tailwind turn one, right? And now that Talonflame is paralyzed,
Mhm.
like I think, oh, wait, you did bring Kingdra. I think Kingdra is cleans personally, like another really good protect here.
Yeah.
But when you trade Tailwinds, which
Yeah.
I disagree with, like you should have skilled with Talonflame. I don't
Yes.
know where you let a Tailwind.
I forgot that it was paralyzed, right? So if it
Yeah.
wasn't paralyzed, then I could have just gone for Thunderbolt Draco Meteor instead of
Mm.
Tailwind later,
Mm.
but I forgot
Yeah.
about.
No, I mean that's okay. Like I said, we all made mistakes, right? Happens.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And when Ninetales comes out, yeah, at this point, if you just switch out Kingdra, like you just win. Like I don't know what he does here, because like you get the river control and they cannot switch out anymore.
Yeah.
It's just Ninetales. Yeah, yeah, that worked out really well. Just killing very late, really good here.
Yeah. Getting rid of the glowy turn one was the main thing here.
The hero, I think maybe if you get like 3 protects in a row, Politoad gets frozen and River Ball doesn't kill, but that didn't
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah.
I was fishing for a triple protect.
I think River Ball would have killed
This
either
is
way
game.
because of a stellar boost with a normal type River Ball. But so
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
you just you just
No, I
one
would
game
have.
run Sizzle, right? So what do you do here?
So I'm like, this worked.
Mm.
Why not do it again? That was literally
Mm.
my
Yeah,
only
that
thing.
was also my thought process. I thought he was just gonna lead funny Bramble Gas again, so I just
Yeah.
thought, what can I do to punish that the hardest?
Mm. Oh, that makes sense.
Spoiler alert, he did.
Yeah.
Spoiler. So Ninetales. Oh, dude, is this? Oh no, no, this isn't the game. Okay, I'm not gonna spoil anything. Yeah. So let's see. So we do see the Politoad here, which makes sense because you didn't want Aurora Veil. Like here, I was sitting in call with something smart, and I think Hayes was here too. And
Mhm.
we were just like, does he know about Wind Rider?
Does he know?
Yeah,
Does he know? Like I was like, should I say something in chat? But like that's cheating, obviously. So like,
that's cheating. Yeah, it's fair that I didn't know that.
no, yeah, like
Yeah, neither of us knew that.
like it's funny because like Blizzard and Icy Wind are like wind moves, right? So Bramble Gas is immune to them. Just for the guys
I
who
knew
don't
Icy
know.
Wind was one move. I didn't know Blizzard was.
Oh no, Blizzard is. I mean, you're gonna see
Like,
later
I
in the
knew
game.
that. I think I knew that Bramble Gas can get hit by like Heat Wave and Hurricane, but I didn't know about Blizzard.
No, yeah, Blizzard is also a wind move.
Yeah.
So yeah, he will just trade Tailwinds after the Blizzard. I think Serena is a good switch because Politoad doesn't do anything into Serena, right? So here just protect and River Ball, which is fine. Like here, I'm interested in like why did you let Killer Watchful just die? Like if I'm Trevor, I'm always switching out my Talonflame because like there's no way you stay in with a Killer Watchful that dies when you have one, two water types. And I guess that's it. But like you have so many Pokemon that can take an overheat and rain, right? Like why did you stay in here? Is it like a prediction type thing or just
Um, can you play the turn? I think I'll be able to remember why after I see the turn.
okay? Like it could
Okay,
also be like a
never mind.
positioning thing, obviously.
I think let's see what I bring in next.
Bramblegast.
Bramble.
I mean, Bramblegast isn't immune to
Okay.
overheat, so it would have taken
Um,
a lot of damage, I think. I mean, that's
yeah,
fair. You
it
can
would
just Shadow
have.
Sneak
I
now.
think I just really wanted to get Bramble in
Yeah.
safely. Um, I think my last Pokemon was also overheat weak. Um,
Yeah, I mean, that's fair.
let's see. I could have
That's fair.
protected, I guess, but
You did get Will-O-Wisp now, which, yeah.
mhm.
And Power Whip. Yeah, I think Power Whip
Huge
doesn't make
power
any
up.
sense at all because Politoed already towered.
It's on court.
It's
It's
awkward.
on
Yeah.
court. I'm stupid. All right, it's on court. Yeah, no, that
I
makes
still do like
sense.
over
Good play,
50% with the burn though.
dude. Good play.
I love it when my support Pokemon does almost 50% to a resist.
Protect, Blizzard. Oh, the freeze definitely suck, but their power whip just kills.
The freeze
Like
didn't even
here,
matter there.
dude, I discussed this turn so long with something smart because at the end of the day, I feel like this turn is like a puzzle, right? How do you get Rain up and Kingdra in? And I think there's just no solution. If that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Mhm.
Like obviously looking back, he could have switched out Brambleghast into Kingdra, and then next turn he could have switched out switched out. No, that doesn't make any sense. No, he could have done that, but at the end of the day, it's just up to predictions and mind games at this point. So like, I don't disagree with her play. Like, I think Trevor just got into a really good position where he basically forced the Kingdra to get sacked, and with the Brambleghast being burned, it's not gonna do much. Yeah, now
Our whip
Politoed
also did a
cannon.
lot of damage. I did not expect that.
Hmm. Yeah.
And then the encore ends.
Yeah. This point is just
I
over.
don't know why he played so slow. I just wanted him to kill me.
Yeah. Alright, last game. Whoever wins the tournament.
The fabled tournament, yeah.
Yeah, the most prestigious tournament out of them all, obviously.
I remember thinking like there's no way he leads Brambleghast Kilowatt Roll again because that went
Hmm.
so poorly for him in the last game.
Hmm. Yeah, I think that's a good observation. Yeah. What do you think, Sizzle?
I can't remember exactly what I did. If I were to
Hmm.
play now, I probably, let's see. Seeing like the Ninetales lead, I probably most likely went something like Scissor Kingdra or Scissor Kilowattrel to get the tailwind up.
Hmm.
Uh what I realized is like I don't need rain up because for a lot of this tournament I actually did not use like Polytoad and Kingdra. Not a lot, but like a
Hmm.
fair bit of this tournament. It wasn't like Polytoad plus Kingdra to blow everything up. It was just
Hmm.
Terra Shell Life Orb Draco Meteor that were blowing
Hmm.
things up, right? And like
Hmm.
Yeah.
speed control wise, Kingdra is outspeeding everything, almost everything, and Okoing almost everything. So I'm like, I don't need Polytoad here.
Hmm.
It hasn't. Its presence was only setting up rain, which didn't really end up benefiting me too much, especially if like Kangda couldn't get into position. So um I was just like, yeah, let me just play around with that concept and then try to just get our Berelas into position to make sure that Gallade can't do its thing, and then
Hmm.
try to win with our Parashell or Draco Meteor
Yeah.
Kingdra.
Like I like the idea of just spamming Draco Meteor. I think. Yeah, I mean, I already talked about how I think you could have won this. I don't think the game plan is too bad. It's just, I mean, we all know what happened, right? Like, except for the viewers, right?
Yeah.
Like, it didn't end up really working out, but like, I think,
Yeah.
mm, let's just think, like, if you did go for the Draco Meteor game plan, right? Like, it's just so
Hmm.
tough. I think if you do that, you should bring a bunch of priority Pokemon, like Scizor, for example, because Draco Meteor doesn't,
Yeah.
like, it doesn't kill loads of things on his team, right? Like, you need Bullet Punch to finish him
Yeah. I
off.
think that's why I did
Mm,
bring Scizor here.
but when he gets
Either Scizor
Arena,
or
yeah.
yeah, see that was the problem. That's what
Mm,
made this matchup awful. Because
mm,
just the Ninetales was really difficult for my team next to
mm,
Serena. And then the Tailwind was my other main way of offense, and that too, like that was shut down by Talonflame Tailwind.
yeah, yeah. No, I can definitely
Yeah.
see what was going on here. Like I think, like obviously it's easy for me to say because I didn't play in the tournament, right? Like what I would have done in this tournament is I think what you did in the very first game you had against Trevor, where you had Scizor,
Mhm.
Kingdra, and then I don't even know if you had Kilowatt. I definitely would have brought Kilowatt because what I would have done is I would have, like I said, like baited with Talonflame, and then I would have used Scizor as like a bulky pivot to stall off the Tailwind
Mhm.
turns. Because I mean, we talked about
Yeah.
it in game one that you guys had, where like you had like a whole kingdom that just protected, and then you let it die to power whip into like Thunderbolt when you had a
Scissor.
Scissor rating, right? Like I think that would have been the best strategy. Like the issue is you're gonna get your Scissor burned, they're gonna have Serena, But if you play it smart, you click some Muddy Waters, some Draco Meteors, like, and you have
Yeah.
your whole killer Vatril to click Hurricane, and you just ignore the
Mhm.
Talonflame. Like, I definitely think you can win this game. Like, I'm not saying it's easy, but that's probably the game plan I would have went
Well,
for.
I have something to say about the lead
Mm,
matchup here because like, I led Talonflame and Gallade. Remember, I was thinking a lot about if I wanted to Terra to kill the Scizor or not because I had Ninetales in the back and Ninetales was able to do a lot of things if Scizor got removed. So I
yeah.
was thinking of whether or not I should Terra to just get rid of the Scizor immediately. And just
Mm,
thought out, I don't know if I kill it right now since it's AV, which indicates that it has like a lot of bulk probably. So eventually I did just decide to tear and it did work out here.
mm. Like, what I think is interesting about this play is like your Terra Stellar. Like, if Sizzle just throws off a raw Hurricane, like you have a similar situation where like Gallade dies and like you trade it for Scissor, which isn't really doing much. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like that's another thing I thought was interesting. Like if I'm Sizzle here, like if I was Sizzle, like I think I would have just switched him Politoed and just Hurricane the Gallade, cause worst case scenario, like he protects Gallade and then Talonflame does like 10% to break the sash or whatever, or like gets up Tailwind. Does that make sense? Like
Yeah.
I think you always have to keep up pressure on the Gallade because you realize it kills everything on your team basically. Like I don't know if Hurricane would have killed. Do you guys have a damage calc for this?
It
Yeah,
almost certainly
Hurricane
would have
kills.
killed.
Yeah.
I think we're about to see that happen right now, in
Oh,
fact.
nice.
Yeah. Yeah, just hurricanes and he
So
kills
like
me.
that's something I was curious about. Here we also see the Psycho Cut mind games we talked about earlier. Yeah, just do a raw Hurricane into Gallade. Like I can see why you didn't do it, but in the last game, like I think it was game run, right? Trevor threw away the Gallade turn 1-2. Was it
Mhm.
was it game run? Yeah, he just threw away Gallade turn 1. Like I just think like
Yeah.
if I'm in Scissors position and I'm playing
Yeah.
against like a random player on the ladder, for example, like I don't think I'm ever Hurricaneing Gallade because like it's so obvious if it makes sense. But here in this, I think
Yeah.
there's good reason to go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you get rid of a Gallade turn 2, and now we see the double protect as well. And here I was like, no, Blizzard, no. Does he know? Yeah, and
He
here
doesn't know.
he doesn't know, and I was like, no. And when Power Whip doesn't kill, I was like, oh no, this is
Yeah.
Jova, but it wasn't, obviously. Spoiler. Yeah, here also, why didn't Politoed come in? Did you not bring Politoed?
They didn't bring Politoed. That's what I was saying earlier, remember?
Oh,
Like
right.
Politoed
Yeah,
doesn't
I
that's
just
why I brought
realized
Kingdra so I
you
could
already
have an
showed all of
extra
your
offense in the
Pokemon.
endgame. Mhm.
So when here he still gets the Tailwind. Yeah, and then the
Yeah.
Blizzard. And now we're gonna get into the Shiesty endgame. Do you guys have the math, uh, on how likely the win chance is for
Okay.
Trevor here?
So
I'm
let's
pretty sure it was 50%. It was just a coin flip.
I
so
think
it's
this
very
is
complicated,
right.
but I
It's
would
just
say
you still have to consider for a possibility that the accuracy gets dropped and then Blizzard still hits both. But let's not do that right now. Like it's like slightly in long story short, it's slightly in your favor, Sizzle.
yeah, it's not I think a bit more than slightly. Like I'd say like a
Yeah.
60-40, something around that.
Yeah, something
Yeah.
around that. Like the actual math is really complicated, but like if Trevor does Moonblast with Terra Dark Ramble Gust is also a Drover. Actually, if he did Moonblast, oh no, never mind, never mind. I thought he would power with the Kingdom, but he didn't. No, if he just Moonblast with Ramble Gust, it's also just over. Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, guys, great games. Is there anything you wanna say?
Yeah.
I did not expect to do that well at all, considering how my practice sets went before this. Thought it
Yeah.
was
I
gonna
was
be a
kind of
repeat of my last tournament run.
I was kind of hoping to take the whole thing home, but of course that didn't happen.
Hmm.
Uh, but that's okay because I think that I'm gonna be bringing the same team to the next tournament with
Hmm.
new and improved sets, and
Yeah.
hopefully I can show this team, show the world how good this team is.
No, yeah, I think the team is really good.
Yeah, I believe in you.
Like you really have to prepare for specific things. Like Ninetales is a good counter, for example. But what I really like about it is like you have a rain mode, but then you also have a Kilo and the Rumbleghast, right? And like I said, Scissor is a good
Hmm.
defensive pivot. Like I think, like I feel a bit bad for you, cause like I think you got second in the last tournament, and like I think you're definitely a very good player. But the issue is, like I said, like I think you need to figure out how to use your own team, which sounds a bit stupid, but like I
Yeah,
said,
no, because here's the other
mm,
thing. Like, no hate. Like, obviously, I was like one of the founding people of this community, and I love this
mm,
community. But there's like three people that are ever active at a time. So most of
mm,
my practice was against Harold, and
mm,
I assumed that Harold would be like the connoisseur for a lot of these teams that are going to show up today. So it was really hard to get that practice in, but I feel like after one tournament now, I understand like a lot of the inner mechanics of this team. You know what I'm saying?
mm, yeah, yeah. I think if you take my advice on like trying to outstall the opponent's tailwind and like switching up like defensively with
Hmm.
Scissor, for example, I think you can do a lot better with a team as well. Because I think a lot of the counterplay to this team is gonna be that prankster tailwind, right? So if you figure
Hmm.
out how to get around that, for example, with like a you already do have a U-turn Scissor, for example, with Assault Vest.
Yeah.
You have a Killer Buttrell, which can definitely set up tailwind multiple times if you play it well, right? Like I think
Hmm.
this team could definitely be broken, honestly, but I think there are still some things that are like easy to exploit. Like I love the Brambleghast. Like it's really good into Trick Room teams, for example, but
Hmm.
it's just so frail. Like maybe another set could be better, but isn't loaded dice. But then you don't have Bullet Seed, right? Like does Brambleghast have
It has to rely on power whip.
yeah, like it really yeah. Like I like the idea of Bullet Seed Brambleghast, for example. Like I said, I think the team could be really good. Like I think if
Hmm.
you wanna like have a team that beats like your rain team, like you really have to have specific things. Like especially if you like for example if you give Politoad Power Song again,
Yeah.
like I think it's gonna be so difficult to beat this team honestly. Like I personally voted ban on Kingdra because I think Kingdra is just too much. Like I had a game where I used Crocodile, I was Element Max Attack and Choice Scarf. Rain was not up and I was in +1 attack and knockoff didn't kill. It
Yeah,
was
but
just like
knockoff's only like 95 base power.
no, you had an item.
Yeah, but
Wait,
it's
how much is
still
knockoff with an item?
it's 97.5 after the boost.
I
So
mean, that's still quite a lot, I think, personally, because Crocodile is one of the strongest
you're
Pokemon in the format.
252 adamant,
Yeah, I was
117.
252
What
adamant. I
you
checked
were
after
you
the
plus
game.
one?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like
Hmm.
without Modest, you're not doing enough for me, for Kenko, without Modest, you're not doing enough damage. Without speed boosting nature. And that was probably also a low roll, I'm guessing. Because like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's just pull up a damage card. Like, no need to speculate, right? Damage card. Like,
mhm.
it's just like I'm just saying, like I'm not trying to prove my own horn or anything, but like I positioned really well.
Yeah, yeah.
I got a kill with Crocodile. Rain wasn't up against your kingdom. It couldn't protect, and then it just doesn't die. Like I
Mhm.
like that was the point for me where I was like, nah, this thing needs to go.
I feel like this team gets way better after this tournament though because Ninetales got banned.
Oh, it
Yeah,
already got
that's not
banned.
good.
Yeah, like Ninetales is definitely the biggest
We don't
op to
need a
this.
bad Ninetales in my humble opinion, but
Yeah.
So +1 adamant knockoff. Just 88 to 104, and that's 0 HP, 0 Bull Kingdra. So like you can easily EV Kingdra to live with if you just give it 52 HP EVs. So yeah, but I mean enough on me Kingdra about Kingdra being broken. Have a new sprite. Yeah, definitely really interesting tournament. I'm
yeah,
excited to watch the next one. Maybe I'll even play again. But honestly, watching has been
we
so
should
fun.
Yeah.
play, we
Maybe I'll
should
just
play.
watch again.
I think
What
I
do you
kind of
guys think?
want to do like commentary on the next one. I'm not sure if I want to do another tournament. Obviously, I'm going to do another one sometime in the future, just maybe not the
Mm.
next one. My nerves in those two last matches
Oh
were a
yeah.
bit too much for me to handle,
No, I mean that's cool.
even though I did end up winning.
Yeah, I mean that's fair. I mean, we'll see. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to join the Discord if you also want to play this format, which, I mean, it's really fun. It's very different to the usual VGC, so you definitely get to like work out some new VGC muscles, if that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, Mio, thank you guys for being here, and I guess hold
Thank
on.
you for having us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you. Subscribe or Gallade will tear a stellar sacred sword your refrigerator or something.